Hello, this is George's Cameras.
Hey, I'm going out fishing today and I want to film it properly. I've been using my phone quite a lot to capture my fish and everything, but it's not really cutting it for me anymore.
And what kind of budget are you working with?
That's kind of the thing. I don't actually know what I need or how much I should be spending.
That's fine. That's exactly what we're here for. How long until you head out?
Like in an hour?
All right, well, I'll pull some gear together and I'll meet you down at the boat ramp. Cool, man. See you then. Jules.
Mitch.
How we doing, mate?
Good, yeah, how are you?
Yeah. Oh, look at this beast. You ready to go out?
Yeah, full on.
Perfect. All right, well, here's some of the cameras. I'll give you that, and then all right, we'll step in. All right, Jules, we're finally out on the water. It's a cracking day. Give us a bit of an idea. What is the content that you generally already capture? Like, what do you use for the cameras?
You know, currently I'm already using my iPhone 16. It does a pretty good job, but it's not as good as a actual, camera, you know.
And have you got experience using cameras or anything like that?
Yeah, like a little bit. I kind of film like bikes and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so you've already got a bit of a passion to, kind of film your activities and action stuff that you do on the weekends with your mates and everything like that. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I think the first camera that I want to introduce to you is the DJI action cameras. It's the base kit that I'm going to be suggesting for today, and then from there we're going to be just adding cameras for different levels that we want to be looking at. Are you familiar with the action cameras at all?
I am, yeah. My friend has one.
Oh, cool. So you've already got a bit of an idea for it.
Yeah.
I love these. I use these when I go out on the boat and everything like that. I think the best thing about them is purely that they're waterproof already. So
yeah, they're awesome.
Obviously you can throw these anywhere. You know, we've got another camera just up there. As you can see, we've just mounted that off to the side. It's just like a set and forget. Don't worry about it, and you can just go ahead and do some fishing. As you can see, you've got your chest mount there. That's really good, where you can you get those POV shots, which I think is really nice to be able to get that like authenticity for people watching your videos and everything like that. And yeah, so you can be able to just attach these up. They've got voice control, which I think is really good. You know, you can have all the cameras set up where you want to, and then just say start recording, and they'll start going all at the same time. And yeah, so I think what we'll actually do is we'll just start cracking on. We'll start seeing how we go with some of the fish. Hopefully they're biting today. What are you hoping to catch today?
Well, probably some king, some snapper.
Okay.
You know, off the rocks, and yeah, hopefully get a few.
Yeah, cool, man. Good luck with it.
Oh, there's some bigger yakka down there. Yeah, I think we should head out soon, but we've got so much like cut bait. Well, quick update, we've just headed out offshore for some bigger kings and snapper. Yeah, well, we were in there before trying to go for liveys. Got a few, hopefully get onto some bigger fish later.
Xander, I'm now going to introduce to you what I believe to be like a starting kit for people that are going to be doing any kind of fishing like this. The action cameras, that's going to be one thing. Like, you want to have that as a base. I feel like that's any kind of fishing, you're going to need an action camera, a waterproof camera, essentially. And so I think, do you watch, I'm assuming you watch like a bunch of YouTube, like do you have any people that you follow or anything like that?
Yeah, a few people who go fishing with cameras is similar to that, and like GoPros, chest mounts, yep. Yeah,
cool. Right, and do you watch you watch TV shows with the fishing and stuff like that?
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I believe this is the equivalent of those kind of shows, definitely like a starting kit, the Sony ZV-1. So this is the Mark II as well. So this is obviously an upgrade from the previous version. So you've got better optics in the actual camera itself. The big things that you're going to be getting is that optical zoom in these cameras. So, because phones and stuff like that, action cameras, it's going to be mainly your digital zoom. Definitely better autofocus as well. Yeah, the benefit of it is that you got the flip out screen. So if you wanted to you know, film yourself. You can see yourself as you're doing it and everything like that. And then, you know, you've got memory cards. So you've got unlimited storage that you can actually be able to put into this and be able to record in it. So, I mean, is there things that you're looking out for that you're wanting to, like, you know, get better at compared to using your phone? Is there things that you're missing out on using your phone?
Maybe the microphone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the best thing is you start getting into the kind of more vlogging style kind of cameras and the cameras in general. You can start putting your lapels into it as well because they've got a 3.5 jack. You can put your receiver on top, mic yourself up, and again, you can be able to put on, you know, a couple of microphones onto yourself, like the way and your mates around you, and then you can actually be able to just set this up. Someone's going to be like somewhere else on the boat, and you can zoom in and out and everything like that, be able to talk. But if someone's focusing on the fish that's down that you're catching or anything like that, they can be down there, and then you're going to be getting crisp audio the whole way through because you don't have to be, you know, really close. And I think that's the other thing, like you're going to be out in windy areas, so you want to get good audio, especially if you're going to be talking and, you know, explaining to the viewers at home as to what you're doing. So if you can be able to just have the audio going directly into this, you don't have to worry about it. And, you know, it's all synced up and everything like that as well. So I'll hand that off to you, and then yeah, we'll get you to play around with it and see how you find it.
Not touch.
Get a hold up. Get a hold up. Let's see it. Woo! No, you might have to swim in. He's not going to swim off there, but
Oh, I slipped out.
there we go. What a release. Good job, Xander. Oh, yeah.
Mitch,
Yeah, mate.
this camera, how do I make it like more dark? It's really light.
Oh, it's really bright. Okay. Yeah, so if you press the function button or the FN button, you'll be able to see there's a feature there. It's called like ND filter or something like that. So that one there, press that, and then click up and then turn that on. Yeah, perfect. So ND is a neutral density. So basically it just puts this little filter in front of the sensor, and the lens darkens it. So it allows you to have things not as highly or overexposed and just brings it all down. We've even got, what would actually be good is one of these Sony handles. So you can actually attach that to the bottom of the camera here with that thread. And what this does, it allows you to do is then, I mean, for one, you've got a little tripod, so you can place that down anywhere you want, and then like you can grab that as well. But the good thing is that it actually also has a record button, and then like a photo button and your zoom button as well. So if you wanted to, whilst you're filming yourself, you can have your arm out, press that red button on the actual handle instead of having to, you know, try and find it on the camera or press the button on the screen itself. And with one hand, everything with one hand, you can have it out, press the button, and then be able to film yourself.
Oh, belly, yeah. Belly!
Oh, that's the fish!
Oh, that's mad!
Oh, shit.
Yes, Valley! Alright, I'll get in there, hold up. Should I reel up? Oh no, I'm good at it.
I don't know.
Oh my god, that is so heavy.
Oh
So
no,
heavy,
is this the only net we have?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a massive fucking banjo!
Kidding?
Oh my god! No, I'll turn on now. That is the biggest banjo, bro. You guys still not unhooked it.
You want to try?
Xander, bro, you're hopeless.
Well, it's got a banjo shark. Fish.
Oh, swimming.
Not what I was looking for, but still a good fight. Hopefully to get some more kings, but not sure. Don't want to get another banjo.
Juice break, that's it. So I reckon it's actually time to go on to the next camera. So this is going to be a part of our master kit. So this is the ZV-E10. The big thing for this compared to the ZV-1 Mark II that we had earlier, you can actually change lenses on this one. So you can put bigger lenses on it. This is the kit lens 16 to 50. So can zoom in and out on the lens here. The big thing kind of jumping from the action cameras that we had earlier and the ZV-1 is that the sensor is bigger. So this being an APS-C, which is bigger, whereas the ZV-1 was a 1-inch sensor. So what that gives you is that's going to be really good for low light. This is really helpful when you're wanting to capture some live bait, as you did earlier this morning, just so you can then actually get the footage of the rest of the boys being able to actually see everything that's getting pulled out. And so again, yeah, the benefit of then being able to change this lens is that because it's only a 16 to 50, being the kit lens, it's good for being on the boat, which is, you know, your wide shots because we're in close proximity with everyone. But you want to then be able to change this out and go into maybe some tighter lenses. So, you know, you might want to go to like a 24 to 70, you could do like 70 to 200s. You can put full frame lenses on it, which is good. So you can be able to benefit from APS-C lenses and full frame lenses. You just can't go the other way around. That's where you get a vignette, like a black area on the outside. That's really good. You can be able to really maximize off that, having the ability to change lenses. But yeah, just an all-round good, nice, small, portable camera. It's just that extra level of quality that you're getting over the DJI action cameras and the ZV-1 Mark II. So I'll give that off to you and yeah, go and grab some footage and we'll see how you go.
Tiny,
Fine, bro.
that went so hard.
Get the action.
How you going, Jules? How are you finding the ZV-E10?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm liking it quite a lot.
Okay, nice. And I can see, because we're coming on to sunset at the moment, but we've actually got a couple more hours of filming to do, a bit of photos and everything like that with some of you boys, you know, fishing out here. I reckon it's probably time to actually introduce another lens for this camera.
Yeah,
so
sure.
This is a 15mm. So although that one is a 16mm, you're only getting 1mm of difference between the two. But that one being a f3.5, so it goes all right when you're in your full daylight side of things with your filming and your photos and everything like that. But as you get into both, one, if you're going to be doing early morning starts as we did this morning, and if you're going to be going into late night kind of fishing or anything like that, you want to have more light coming into your actual scene. That doesn't say that you only need to use this in low light, because it has an f1.4. So generally when you get the lower the number, there's less things in focus. So how that benefits you is that you could be able to focus on the boys over there doing your videoing, but it then means you're only focusing on them. They're in focus, they're sharp, but then everything else in the background can be blurred out if you wanted to go to that point of having something in the background blurred and you're only focusing on the subject being your mates on the actual boat here. So it's going to be probably very bright at the moment.
Yeah,
so
quite it is, yeah.
You can put on an ND filter on the front of this, so that's where you start to then notice with these cameras with the interchangeable lenses, you're going to be putting filters on the front of the lens to compensate for you know, glare on the water. So if you've got CPLs, which is the circle polarizer, that just cuts out, like your sunglasses, you know, you can cut off all the glare on the water. Or yes, you could stack it if you wanted to, put an ND filter on top of that to be able to cut out some of the light, because you're introducing so much more with that f1.4. I reckon we'll jump on to the next camera soon.
Yeah, awesome.
So moving on, we're going on to our Pro kit. So this is actually a part of their cinema line. So you can see there, cinema line, so that's their FX-30. And this is probably one of the better cameras of a pretty budget kind of setup that you could be going for. So again, it does have APS-C sensor, pretty similar to the ZV-E10 that we saw earlier. Biggest difference that you're gonna see compared to that ZV-E10 is that this camera is gonna do a whole lot better in color. What I'm getting at with that is, if you were to compare this to your phone, if you were to be shooting in an environment like this where maybe your person, your mate that's catching a fish, they've got the sun behind them, but you're trying to expose, you know, make the person in the camera the correct light or the correct exposure and everything like that. But then if you're exposing for the dark, the person that's in the shadows, your background gets overblown. It's like crazy bright in the background. So the benefit of something like this for a pretty low budget is that you're actually going to be able to pull back those highlights, be able to lift up those shadows, and that really allows it to be able to have a really nice cinematic look, really. So it is going to be the same mount, so you can be able to put Pro Series camera lenses on, and you can also still put on your APS-C lenses too. I think another great thing about this camera is that it's got these mounting points. So you've got about 3 or 4 of them going around the entire camera, so you can see there. So it's a standard 1/4 inch thread. You can be able to then essentially, mount this onto the side over here. So you could be talking to this camera over here while you're standing over there, and then you flip out this monitor, have that facing towards you, and then you can see yourself, which is obviously great. Ultimately, this is for the person that is wanting to use features of this camera. So if you saw yourself really wanting to explore this into a career or something like that, or you're wanting to really kick off your YouTube channel, and then you want to start playing around with color and making something look really good as if you see on the movies, the FX-30 is the way to go. So I'll get this off to you boys, and we'll let you play around with it, and then we'll come back and see how you went.
Yeah, sweet, thank you.
Cool.
What's a shark?
Brev. What is that? Is that a parasite? Whose line is that? Oh, wait, actually, I hate you so much, Jules. You cut my line for a shark.
Oh, the other hook.
Got him, lad.
Holy shit. You got that.
All right, Jules, we finally finished off to the day. How did you find the fishing? You happy with it?
Yeah, it was pretty sick getting the shark on the light tackle, and there was quite a bit of bites turned on the afternoon, but the morning was pretty dead. So
yeah, a bit dead, but we got there in the end. We were able to go out in the big sea out that way, and we had to go down the coast, which is really good.
Yeah.
How did you actually find the cameras?
I really like the DJI Action 5.
Cool.
I really like the POV style. It's more suitable, for like me, young fishermen.
Yeah,
trying to get good quality clips of their fish.
Yeah, and then we had an action pole. We had a gooseneck that we were able to attach onto some other areas, and then we had the front mount chest plate. Was there any one of those mounts that you preferred over the other?
I really like the chest mount because it was pretty comfortable the whole way through, and with the stick I had to hold it and film. It was pretty cool still. You getting shots of the water, but personally I like the chest mount the most.
Yeah, love it. And then so I think that is probably the best camera to be going for. The base kit within this lineup, it's really suited. It's waterproof. You've got that voice control that you can be able to turn all the cameras on at one time. It's easy to use. You can connect it to your phone. Everything it's for you. If you were to, because you can always upgrade to these other kits, you can actually add it on to the base kit. Is there one that you'd choose over the other, like the FX-30, the ZV-1, or the ZV-E10? Any one of those that you'd reckon?
I think I like the FX-30 the most. It's got the more wide shot.
Okay.
I saw, and I was just zooming in a lot. It was just a lot nicer than the smaller ones.
Yeah, I think the 16-25 lens is really good. You've got a nice wide shot, but you've got more of a tangible kind of zoom that you can actually play around with it. And once you've got that ND filter on the front, I think it's worlds better than the other cameras here. It does better in low light as well compared to some of the other ones. Yes, you can put the ZV-10, you can put the 15mm on that we tried earlier. It does help with some of the lower light stuff, but I think going for an FX-30 when you want to ever upgrade to that, I think is something that is probably worthwhile looking into in the future. So that's it for the end of this video, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you wanted to try out any of these cameras, make sure to come and check us out in our Sydney store and in our Chatswood store. Keep an eye out on the website where you'll be able to find these kits. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.